This is not a how-to video. I just want to show you this. I was not planning uh, this, but it's so cool that I ended up creating something similar on my website. Remember that in a recent video I shared with you this idea of using bases tables instead of folders to build a timeline system. I'm in love with that idea. It's so good. I'm so happy with it, but there's some small side effects. I'll soon talk about them. And I decided to move the bases and the entire structure to the bookmarks. I even moved the bookmarks icon to the left. And okay, let me show you here. So you can see the three status containers here: action, static, and timeline. Web is just a list of links that I use here to go to the web using the web view. But each one of this here is a base table, just like this one here. This one is blog.base. And I have several views in each one of them. I'm not going to show you this other ones because there's too much personal information there. But this ones here I can show you because this is all public. Everything here is also online on my blog. Post ideas. I'm not going to show you this ones here because these are ideas for posts, but these ones here are books that I'm reorganizing, and we'll get there. Blog reorganization, I have already talked about this. Podcast, pages in English. These are the website pages, pages in Portuguese, and here all the posts. So everything here is filtered using the tag, blog, and something else. In this case, it is blog and books. So if we open a book here, if I click here, you can see that I have type blog. Everything on this tab, on this base, is a blog. It is type blog. And because this is already published, it has the status checked and also has one of the tags is books. And this is what creates this list here. If we go to post ideas and we go to one of these books, you can see that the checkbox here, the status is not checked. And this view here is with the status unchecked, so the type blog. So each one of this is created using the type blog. And the same is true for each one of this other here. I guess I don't have any upcoming trips, so let's click here. Okay. So I have here next trips and all, and it's the same. If we go to the filter, the type is itinerary and the status is an unchecked checkbox. One advantage that I'm seeing is that I can first rearrange everything. I don't need to keep it in any specific order, chronological order, alphabetic order, because these are bookmarks. I can rearrange them the way I want. So that gives me a lot of freedom. And also it's less information. I can keep everything more. I like to keep things more tight, more organized. So that's an advantage. Another thing that was happening was that when I would click on something, let's say a post from, let's go back to this one here, a post here, this would make this green link here jump all the way down in the list because this is inside the timeline. It's stored there, timeline current, which is all the way down the list. And there is a lot of posts in the timeline, not posts, notes. So that would make me have to go all the way up and scroll all the way up to go back to what I was doing. So having it here as a bookmark is a much better option. At least for now. I'll keep you posted. I had this covers here because since I can remember, since forever, since I started using some sort of electronic system, I've been taking notes about each book I read. And that became a more organized system when I started using Evernote back in 2008. and it's now here in Obsidian. So almost all the books I read, I mean, not almost, but the ones after a certain point in my life, they all have, I wrote something about that book, and when I started using a Kindle, that was 2012, I started exporting the book notes to Evernote. When you see something like this book is from uh, 2005. This is when I read this book. So obviously this post was not written in 2005 because I didn't have this blog. What I'm trying to say here is that I am using the notes I already had, which I imported from Evernote, and making them more suitable for a post. So that's what's happening here. So I'm rewriting things, but it's the same. The essence is the same. The idea is the same. What I was thinking at that moment is written. So I have that. So if we go to my website here, I created the library with the books. So if we click here, it's the same because I post from Obsidian. So of course I didn't write this in 2005. This is new, but what I wrote, the idea, the feeling, everything here is from when I finished reading the book. So I'm doing this for each book, rewriting, and also going online and looking for a good cover art to do this. The other interesting thing here, let's go back to this one here, is that I decided to put it in chronological order, reverse chronological order, so I can look at this and have a sense of what I was doing, what I was thinking about, because you can see here that I was reading a lot of Origins books. This is this computer, the pen computer, Pen OS. This is such a good book. Well, at least that was my feeling at the time. I don't know. I never read it again. But so this is about the Apple Newton. This is about Xerox PARC. This is about how they created a Palm, and also here Pepsi. And then I started reading a lot of history books about history, and then back to technology. This one is out of place. This is when I remember reading it again, because this would be all the way back here, the original, the first time I read it, but I couldn't find anything. This was a long time ago. I guess I read this book right after it was published, and this was right after a couple of years after the web was created. So I read this a long time ago. Then I read it again in 2013, and I was reading it again the other day. So it's interesting to see the evolution here, and there are many gaps still here. For example, 15, 16, 18, and then 2025. So there are many gaps. And here you can see that there are a lot of fiction books that I started reading in 2025 because the world is so crazy, and I just needed a break from the real world, and I decided to read a fiction this year, and you can see it here. So I love chronology. I love a timeline because it gives you such an interesting view of the context, everything that was happening. So you can see here the years, 2001, 1, 2, 2, 5, and then here 9, 10, 11. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share this. I wanted to be transparent. The posts are not from the date you are seeing on the post, but the ideas, the feeling, everything, and even some parts of the text are from that date. Thank you so much for your time. See you soon.